Good day, everyone, and welcome to the South African Schoolboy Rugby Report, the home of South African Schoolboy Rugby. In this video, we'll be looking at the results from the past weekend. And if you're here for the first time, thank you very much. Really appreciate you stopping by. If you haven't subscribed or liked yet, please do. It really helps to keep me motivated and bringing you these updates. Right, let's get into what happened this past weekend. First up, we've got the Paarl Gim game. Paarl Gim started very fast, scored within the first 2 minutes against Gim, and I thought that it might get ugly, but Gim fought back hard and held out. And in the end, the game ended with a 24 points to 7 win to Paarl Gim. I must say they looked quite sharp. Travis Pfeiffer had a pretty good game, and I must say honestly, the new Adidas kit from Paarl Gim is one of the best looking kits that I've seen for a number of years. So yeah, if you haven't seen the Paarl Gim kit, keep a lookout for that. Then Bishops got back on track. They beat Worcester Gymnasium 31 points to 26. It's good to see Bishops back to their winning ways, and Worcester Gymnasium still looking for that elusive first win. Tough start to the season, but I'm sure they'll be back soon. Then one of the surprise results of the weekend was seeing Stellenberg beat Stellenberg, who was ranked 11th last year, beating second ranked Paarl Gymnasium 20 points to 19. I think many people thought that Paarl Gim would be too strong since they had so many returning players, more than half of the team returning from last year. However, it sounds like this was a real epic battle, and it's great to see Stellenberg causing that upset, and obviously means that they will be one of the teams to look out for this season. I haven't watched the game myself, the full game yet. I'm watching it tonight, so really looking forward to breaking it down next time and giving you more comments on it. Then Grey College, they beat Oakdale in a proper battle. I caught the first 20 minutes or so, watched Jaco de Villiers, and I must say it was intense. I also haven't watched that full game yet, so I will get into that more, and I will give you some more comments in our next video. Then Outeniqua, they beat Nico Malan 45 points to 0. Their backline was smooth, and they really have some speedy backline, electric backline players. But I must say, Nico deserves credit. They kept it from blowing out. As you all recall, Outeniqua put 99 points on Worcester Gymnasium last week. So I think they did very well. Nico Malan, they're improving, and I think that's what matters. And they were at least competitive to this Outeniqua side. Then moving on to the KZN region. I watched a bit of highlights from the Hilton Westville game. Very entertaining match. The atmosphere was incredible. It was a really tight match, very watchable. And I must say, the chip and chase try by John, I think the fly-off's name is John Grubb. I had to rely on the commentator there. I think the fly-off's name is John Grubb. He scored a magnificent chip and chase try. For me, that was the highlight. You can find it on YouTube, and it's definitely worth a look. Down in the Eastern Cape, Selborne, they drew 19-all with Stirling. With Jake White coaching now, or in a consultancy capacity, I think expectations were quite high, but many people said that they looked quite flat. But yeah, I'm sure. But that takes nothing away from Stirling, who also, I heard, put in a good performance and a respectable performance in keeping the score to 19. Also, well done to Stirling, and yeah, I'm sure Selborne will get stronger as the season progresses. Then moving on, Hudson Park and Dale. They also played to a 15-3 win. Dale edged Hudson Park 15 points to 3. I said it was going to be a game where there's going to be lots of running, but it seems that it was a rather tight affair. Good controlled rugby, and yeah, Dale edging Hudson Park there 15 points to 3. Then Fransby turned things around, beating St Andrews this year after losing to them by 45 points to 17 last year, which was nice to see. Victoria Park, they took a heavy loss to Kingswood, another 50-pointer, but they are stepping up, playing tougher schools, and I really think that is how you grow, and that can be an example to some of the other smaller schools in South Africa that's looking to improve their rugby programs. Then Trio, they won by 1 point against Diamantveld. Close call. I think everyone thought that Diamantveld had it after beating Monument last week. But yeah, this was a very close game, and I think the fact that Diamantveld again only lost by 1 point against a Trio side that's already played Grey College shows you that Diamantveld can also be a team to be reckoned with this season. Over in the Vaal region, One of the games of the weekend that I highlighted was the Waterkloof Affies game. I watched the highlights this morning, and I must say the atmosphere was absolutely electric. Affies took a lead early on. They looked like they were running away with it, but then Waterkloof fought back to make the scores 20 points to 22, and then finally Affies sealed the win with 2 late tries. Definitely worth a watch on YouTube if you haven't done so. It really looked like a proper match, and man, the size of the forwards was just incredible. Affies especially had a very strong maul, and yeah, they look like they have a very, very strong back indeed. Monument bounced back quite nicely too. They had a big win over Welkom Gymnasium, which is good to see. You know, when you think about Monument over the last 15-20 years, they were consistently ranked in the top 5-10 schools in South Africa, but they've really had a rather rough last 5 years or so, and I've heard that their winning percentages has actually decreased from around 60% to around 30-40% over the last few years. So it's good to see them back to their historical highs of beating schools of these big teams. But yeah, so I hope this will help to get them back to their winning ways. Then Jeppe also pulled off quite a big upset there by beating Garsfontein 29 points to 26. I think most people would have favored Garsfontein to beat Jeppe, especially since it was a home game for Garsfontein. However, Garsfontein did have some late coaching changes, and from what I understand, they also perhaps had a change of principal, if I'm correct, which might explain things and maybe had a disruptive effect on the Garsfontein team. But yeah, I must say Jeppe looked quite dangerous. They upset Grey before, so I think they're definitely a team to be reckoned with this season, so keep an eye out on them. Then the top 3 matches then that discussed last weekend that we said that people should look out for: the Oakdale Grey College game. I must say the result did surprise me quite a bit. It was stronger than expected by Grey. I did thought the match was going to be a little bit closer. I thought that Grey would win it, but not by this margin. So hopefully Oakdale can put in stronger performances in future. Then with regards to Stellenberg beating Paarl Gim, that was definitely the surprise of the weekend for me. Massive congratulations to Stellenberg. That was a huge result for them. And then finally the Affies holding off Waterkloof. Like I mentioned earlier, the forwards were quite impressive, a very electric and entertaining game, and that means unless the teams meet each other this year again, next year will be 10 years since Waterkloof last beat Affies. So yeah, impressive rugby weekend. To the boys who played this weekend, thank you very much for keeping us entertained. You really have some amazing talent and showed some good commitment and dedication to your respective schools, so please keep it up. And then guys, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. It really means a lot. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and share with your rugby mates. I'll be back with soon with some more. Until then, enjoy the games and the highlights on YouTube. Talk again soon. Cheers.